I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I welcome Erosa. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Erosa Fallen. I am a Victorian ghost inhabiting a graveyard statue, and I'm an artist exploring the 21st century. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. So you are an artiste?
That I am. I am a self-taught artist. I have been doing painting, both physical and digital, for about 16 years now.
Whoa.
So over half my life.
Yeah, so between you and I, we average out to no talent whatsoever. That's how good you have to be, because I'm really horrible. So you've been doing this for a little while. I mean, was that something you kind of picked up and was a kind of a passion of yours?
Oh, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I've definitely been an artist since I was very little.
Mm.
Even like elementary school, I drew on everything I could, and then I was very lucky. I had incredibly supportive parents. I started really seriously drawing when I was in, I think, early middle school, late elementary.
Wow.
And then every year you get a sketchbook for Christmas, either markers or watercolors. The really big gift when I graduated high school was I got my very first display tablet. The display tablet I actually still use
Excellent.
to this day. It's what I do all of my art streams on. It's very old, but she's old reliable.
There's nothing wrong with the old stuff if it still works.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been self-taught though. I mean, so you haven't had to sit there and listen to everything that you've done wrong.
I actually, for a period of time, I did go to art classes, and I do believe in looking to mentors.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I believe that everyone has knowledge that we don't have, and some of my most invaluable moments of knowledge have come from my art teachers.
Cool.
I think it is good to be self-taught, but other people have insight that we just can't possibly come up with ourselves without our experience.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that art teachers and any teacher in an art form can do without breaking you down first.
Oh, absolutely.
And trying, talk to a lot of folks who say they went to a school directly for art, and the first thing they did was not let them do what they do and start off with the absolute basics, and you have to follow this, and this is how you do it. That's to me, that's how you immediately turn somebody away from what they want to do.
Yes, I've had several friends who have started their art journeys in the last year or two have come to me and are like, how did you do it? How did you teach yourself art? How do you learn and practice? And I said, draw the stuff that you find enjoyable. Draw fan art, copy or trace like things from old animes that you've seen before. Recreate the things that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Make that passion before you learn how to do it in a way that is sustainable and repeatable.
Yeah.
Do what you love before you make it an education endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whoa, hello. Got a little, somebody's Bluetooth turned on in the neighborhood. If you get this situation with something like that where you already know what you want to do with it, you kind of got a style and a way to do things, and instead of trying to enhance you and help you out, somebody immediately cuts you down and starts off. We don't want art that looks exactly the same.
Right.
But that will take a picture. I mean, there's ways to do that, but it kind of takes the humanity out of it, doesn't it?
But there's this direction that anyone can take. Is some people, their passion is the direct recreations, and you see all these times people will go into actual museums and do what's called a master copy, which is to recreate masters' works to understand why they do things or how they recreate things. As someone who cannot do realistic or master copies, I think that they are just beautiful. I think they are a true form of art, and anything is, whether it looks good or bad.
Oh.
I think the problem comes with people who want to start with art and immediately go to teachers who do tear them down and say, this doesn't look good. This isn't what we want.
Yeah.
And that is what kills that passion. And for some people, they will never want do art again, or they will like stick themselves into realism.
Hmm.
But I think it's finding that passion, and if that passion is realism, then hell yeah,
Yeah.
more power to you.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it's your mileage may vary and what you want to do with it. It always,
Oh, absolutely.
but it just gets me that there are institutions and there are people whose immediate thing is to try and pigeonhole somebody, and
Yes.
it happens in writing too. It happens in singing. It happens in it, we, we
Oh gosh,
we
yeah,
we don't want
yes.
every singer to sound exactly the same. Otherwise, it makes no sense. And we don't want everybody to write the same thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had Douglas Adams for crying out loud. And if I was ever to do writing, I would try to do Douglas Adams as much as possible. But the 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 variety is the spice of life, and that's what we get on this particular medium. So many people from different backgrounds. Yours, I want to hear. How do you get started on YouTube or VTube?
So I have a unique experience, and I
Hmm.
suppose to some other VTubers and content creators, this isn't super unique, but this is actually my second crack
Mm.
at VTubing and content creation.
Okay.
I am coming up on my first year anniversary as Erosa, but I have been a streamer for about 4 years,
Oh, okay.
under an old name that I unfortunately will not be sharing or disclosing.
Mm-hmm.
But it came from my friends.
Mm.
They were all doing this thing, and this was actually when the VTuber boom in 2020 was really happening.
Right.
And
Right.
I saw this explosion of passion and content creation like I had never seen before.
I get.
And there was this way to create content without having to show your face, which was something I was so worried about from the very get-go, as I was like, I want to make content, but the way my space looks or my camera equipment or my own personal concerns about having a camera ready face or being very expressionful
Right.
was really disheartening
Mm.
to do like camera work. So when the boom happened in 2020 and a lot of my friends started streaming themselves, I was just elated. And I know that people talk about Iron Mouse a lot as an inspiration, but as a disabled creator, she was a really big inspiration.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
to have this courage to know that I can do something long term that won't destroy my body and
Mm.
that I love, you know?
Right.
And so I think that was a really big inspo to get into it. And
Yeah.
I took a few years off, um, due to some personal situations happening in my real life, but
Hmm.
I was actually inspired by my girlfriend to come back into VTubing, and I have made some phenomenal friends over the last year that I cannot be more thankful for.
That's wonderful. That's great. It's almost like the way you describe it that this was made for you. It's just waiting for you to show up.
Right. Like somebody was building this and they're like, okay, well, where is she? And I'm like looking for it all over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're waiting. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know?
Good, like tapping the watch.
Yes. We're waiting. Um, was it that easy for you once you got into it to to uh, to become comfortable with people potentially being with you from around the planet and still doing what you want to do online?
I think it's a learning curve like anything is, and I like art. I'm glad that I built the passion for it
Hmm.
before I tried to treat it like a job or something to pursue in terms of like improving how
Right.
I do it or like how do I do this like the professionals do.
Yeah.
Um, but making it a passion project was always the number one goal for me, and doing it this last year with this redo has been the good move because now it is a passion project. I make all my own art or all my overlays are made by my friends or people around me, and I think having those people from all over the world has actually been really I can't find the word for it. I'm struggling for it, but
No, I can
it's been heartwarming.
I can hear it when you talk about it. That's that's something that you pick up over the years as a radio person. You get to hear when somebody is not only sincere about what they're saying, but it affects them greatly.
Hmm.
And obviously, this this has for you.
Yeah.
It's given you, and whatever happened the first time with it, you've managed
Hmm.
to come back and reclaim and have a better situation this time, maybe because
Oh,
now
for
you know what
sure.
to do.
Yeah, no, it was, I feel like I perhaps just surrounded myself with people who were looking at it for their own reasons and they just didn't mesh with my own.
Hmm.
And now the people that I know and have met are doing it because it is their passion too, and it's because it's what they love to do just for the sake of loving to do it. I think that's been the best part of all of it.
I'm glad for you. That's good stuff to hear. And it can happen on here. That people can not only find their own comfort spot and be comfortable with what they're doing, but other people to be comfortable with. Uh,
Hmm.
that's huge, especially I don't know what your ailments are and what you're dealing with, but here you got a chance to meet people and not have to go through lots
Hmm.
of hoops physically, mentally, whatever you have to deal with, and still get to be your friends, and you get from all over the planet.
Yeah. One of my dearest friends that I met at the beginning of last year is actually someone that you interviewed last year was Ori Vermillion,
Oh yeah,
who is from the Philippines, and
yes.
and you've spoken with her and seen how energetic that they are, and and
Oh
just like a
yes.
personality to be sure.
Absolutely. I love that. That's good stuff. I love that a lot. Um, the it's amazing to me being an old timer and a guy who was in the radio in the 80s.
Hmm.
It's the 1980s, folks. They didn't have radio in the 1880s. Um, the to get your minds out of that, folks. Uh, the uh, the fact that I would be talking to anybody um, like this from my own house by picking up a microphone and turning it on. Back then, it would have cost $1 billion because it would have been over the phone, and it cost 25 cents to call across the street back then. But it also would have sounded terrible and wouldn't have been worth it in the first place.
And then you got party lines going, and
Oh,
it's just a hard time all
oh
over.
my gosh! Back in my own hometown, every once in a while, my grandparents lived next door, and every once in a while, I'd be talking to somebody, and I hear, "Grandma, is that you?" Unintentional party lines. I can't say bad words now. Grandma's on the line. But now I can say bad words. I got the 18 plus button booked. I can do what I want. Uh,
Just switch over the YouTube. It's fine.
that's right. That's perfect. Um, so when you're up and streaming, uh, and you've got the art stream going,
Hmm.
uh, is it easy for you to, um, for lack of a better word, perform with an audience when you're doing artwork?
I So that is actually a question that I've been bouncing back and forth in the last couple of weeks.
Hmm.
Is so a major reason why I rebranded to the statue motif is because of the fact that when I do a lot of my art streams, I am a bit more kind of reserved and quiet, but the parts of being a Rosa is half display and half myself.
Right.
Um, so for the most part, I just try to talk with my community, tell them about my week, say what's going on. It's more for like if I'm doing big talking streams or playing video games or doing any collabs that I kind of amp up the character. You put on the face, you put on the mask, but for the art streams, that's that time for me and my community to I think to kind of connect, be with each other,
Mm.
take down the facade and the wall
Right.
and just be like kind of one on one there. And I think that's why I like to do both, a little bit of both.
Yeah. That chill time, like
Hmm.
everybody sit around. Hopefully, maybe they're doing their own art while you're doing yours. Uh,
And a lot of times my community will. I'm friends with a lot of artists,
mm,
and I find that a lot of people will work together
mm.
or like work co-working streams, and that it feels good to know that I'm a voice that they put on in the background like I do for my own stuff.
Well, that's an underrated um, byproduct of what's going on. Uh, that you become someone that they lean on for
Yeah.
times of comfort, which is everybody can use now and again for sure.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and I hope that that streamers realize that, and it's the same concept of lurkers who don't always come out and interact with you, but they're still there for you. Um, they're there because you're on it, not necessarily
Hmm.
because you're playing a certain game or they want to see how you they don't want to necessarily see how you art. um,
They're looking for the art, but they're there for the times and the talking and
yeah,
the chill out and the listening
yeah,
and it's a good time.
yeah, and by the way, folks, what about this voice, huh? I mean, good gravy.
Oh, you're too kind to me. Thank you.
So very easy to talk with.
You.
It really does seem like this was meant for you. Um,
Oh,
and you know, I hope it remains as comfy for you as it seems. Um,
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm hoping so as well.
yeah. So when you're doing the games,
Mm.
what are you playing it? Um,
So I love story-based games. I'm really deep into anything with like heavy like talking. I Part of the thing of being chronically ill is I spent a lot of time in my home. I have a condition called orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS,
yep,
which means I lack a whole lot of energy to get up and get outside. So
yep. I've interviewed
when
a
I was
couple
younger,
folks.
I spent a lot of time inside. And what was really wonderful to me was very story heavy games,
Yeah.
anything with a lot of fun voices. So
Mm,
what I love to do for my gaming is either silent indie games where I can do a lot of different voices,
yeah.
or anything where I can like really get into a plot.
Yeah. Yeah. I have interviewed a couple of folks who have had that.
Hmm.
And it is, and this is a great way because everybody I've talked to with this, by the way, is extremely um, talented, which uh, begs the question of uh, this is going to sound terrible. Forgive me for this. The glass cannon theory, where
Yeah.
it sounds terrible, but it's I'm not trying to make it terrible, but here an extremely talented person such as yourself, but you're also chronically not able to get up and do
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But here we get a chance, and you get the chance to show us what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It feels good to have that platform despite everything. It's good.
that see that didn't even hang up on me when I mentioned it. Now I feel bad.
No, 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 no. So it was that situation of like I wanted to be a theater kid in high school
mm,
because I couldn't move all the time and I couldn't do the big moves and the dancing without like losing my breath and being unable to move. I just couldn't do it.
mm,
So to have the ability to kind of be that theater kid that I feel in my heart, it's really
yeah.
good.
Well, that also begs another question: voice acting.
Yes.
Mm. And are you doing it now? Are
I
you trying to do it or what?
I've been contemplating it for a long time. My own enemy is myself, and that I'm terrible at recording demo reels and applying for things. I'm just a terrible applicant, but I love to do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I again, your mileage may vary, but to me, it seems like a natural fit to me.
Oh, thank you.
But then I'm jealous of everybody who can do it because I can't do a voice for more than one time. I can do a voice one time, but I can't come back to it. It's done.
It's you just can't return to it and understand like
And
where like how did I get to that again?
no, no, the vocal cords reset, and the mind definitely resets every couple of seconds. So, but for us old radio guys, our foray into voice acting was doing a 30-second commercial for the local grocery store. Beans are on sale. Come get your beans.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. Bye, bye, bye. In the marketplace mall, please. Member FDIC. That's how we finish all of our spots.
Remember FDIC.
Yeah. But now with the technology the way it is, you can do this from home, and
Hmm.
if you got a good setup and it's easy to, um, and I tell you, folks, getting a good audio setup isn't as hard as a lot of people make it out to. You can cover up a lot of things with your mic by having good baffling, by having, not talking directly to a window like I'm doing right now. There's a lot of things you can do for it. So I encourage you.
Do it. It's worth it. I used to stream on a headset microphone and it was good enough. And then I literally $50 USB microphone is what I'm using right now, and a good sound editing system will do wonders for you.
Yeah, yeah. I really do think that instrument of yours could could really could really go places for you. So I hope you're able
Thank
to,
you.
as long as you're comfortable with it. Not going to push you.
I would it would really be a wonder to do professional voice acting, and I'm sure so many VTubers have told you the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, but
Um,
there's a difference. There's a difference. I mean, even now, you while you're on, you're still you. And
mhm.
you talked about having the character, having Erosa, and being, in different situations, having that be a little different. From art streams to collaborations and putting on the mask.
Mhm.
With the actual acting part, you are trying to be somebody else and not you. And putting that out in front of people is pretty courageous, and a courage that I don't necessarily have. That's a different story in it.
I always forget every time I'm on a podcast that I'm like, you can't see me nodding my head, and I'm just like sagely listening along, like, yes, yes, of course. And I'm
Well,
like, oh wait, people can't see it. They think I'm just like ignoring you. No.
see, that's good because my head is so big that I just assume everybody's agreeing with me.
Given verbal confirmation, yes,
That's
definitely.
that's from the old radio days. Nobody can see me, but everybody's agreeing with me. Um,
Yes, exactly. Nobody can disagree because nobody can say anything back.
so with these story games, is it easy for you to interact with chat while this is going on?
It's my best intention too when I can to like step aside from the story and like take a point to chat.
Mm, yeah.
You, God, that's a really good question.
Mm.
Um, I try my best to, especially with indie games, like like direct time away for chat, either
Uh-huh.
at the beginning, middle, or end. But I try to keep chat directly into my lower left vision whenever I can. So even if I'm like quickly moving, I can look and reply to people.
Hmm.
My community is so incredibly important to me. I don't want anyone to think that I'm not interacting or talking with them because they are really the backbone of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. As you get to the point, have you gotten to the point where um, you kind of start feeling responsible for them?
A little bit. It's starting to build up there. It's slow but steady, but I feel like a small responsibility for my little ghosts and ghouls. I have a small cluster right now, but they come back all the time, and I send them off in directions, and seeing those people come back, I'm like, oh my God, those are my people. I have to keep an eye on those people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can get to that, and um, it's it's such a delicate balance sometimes for folks,
Mhm.
and they start they start feeling the responsibility is more than their enjoyment, and it starts to tip the balance of whether or not they actually want to go
Mm.
on or not. That doesn't sound like it's a problem for you.
I've been incredibly lucky that the community that I've built are incredibly kind and talented people. So I feel more like I'm sharing my friends
Mm.
with my fellow content creators and my friends who I am sending them over to. I watching my communities just kind of collide has been amazing rather than worrisome,
Yeah,
if anything.
yeah, that's good. That's what you want. That's absolutely what you want.
Yeah.
Now, as far as collaborations go, are you very tentative about approaching somebody for a collaboration? Do you wait for somebody else? Do you have to know them for a
N-
while?
Actually, a couple of my very close friends now are from spur of the moment collab
Mm,
uh, conversations.
mm,
Uh, Tori Snowfall is one of my current really close friends, and I would not have met her if not I had gone, hey, I like this game too. Do you want to collab? And we had never spoken.
mm.
And then it turns out we had mutual friends, and now I have so many friends who are intermingled together. I can't keep track of who's from where
Perfect.
and what and how, but I think collaborations are a great way to make friends, and that's really what I'm here for is friendships and memories and moments.
Yeah, yeah. And there's just going to be some times though when it just doesn't work, and
Right.
and
Oh, for
it,
sure.
and stress it. It's not anybody's fault necessarily. It just doesn't gel for one reason or another. Could have two
Mhm.
perfectly entertaining people that when you put them in the same room, it's like watching paint dry. It's that. And I used to do um, pro wrestling commentary for local people,
Mm-mm.
and we had a little television show. In fact, people, if you really want to, you can find some on YouTube. It's out there. I'm very actually I'm very happy with it. I'm pleased. So go ahead and look at it. Um, but I had two folks out there that I knew pretty well, and they went and had a match, and they didn't do anything wrong. It was perfectly fine, but it was pedestrian, and it was.
Hmm.
And they come back and ask me after the match, how did we do? I go, it was very competent. And they both looked at me and nodded. Said, "Yeah, we know what you're talking about. You definitely went
You
and
weren't
did it."
you were not trying to be human beings with each other. You were trying to do your job next to each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's something that I imagine artists such as yourself would just be terribly shocked and horrified to hear. You certainly did draw that.
You did your job. Yep,
Yes.
you drew that. I oh God, that is sometimes like the worst thing to be told is oh, you drew this?
Yes. Congratulations on successfully doing something. Yes.
Doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, there's certainly you can definitely tell when a collaborator is not enjoying themselves or is not quite in their zone. And to be sure, not every collab goes well, or not
Mm,
every collab is the best one you've ever had.
right.
And in my myself, I've even myself had my fair share of we just don't mesh as personalities.
Yeah.
Either they're more mellow or I'm more mellow, either direction.
Yeah.
We have different communities, different interests.
Yeah.
Some people are more energetic than others, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everybody's more energetic than me, but I learned that when I was very young. I said, "Oh yeah, you guys go ahead and do it. I'll take credit for it later." Um, it's the easiest way to get along. Uh, the the branding of yourself on the net.
Hmm.
How important is that to you? Um,
Oh, and incredibly important.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, 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 no. I'm I'm interested to know because of how you approach this and how generally wonderful it must be to collaborate with you and all this stuff because it's I'm having the time of my life here. Um,
Oh, thank you.
but how important would it be for you to avoid drama on the net?
I Drama was the major reason I left VTubing the first time around,
Mm-hmm.
legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
It is my one my one big avoid when I can. So I feel like both stages of the branding that I've done are very intrinsic to those things. The first branding I did as Erosa was originally a Cupid
Mm-hmm.
because I very much believe in spreading positivity and love, but the bubblegum pink was not exactly me all the time, as cute as it was. And so October of last year, we made the switch
Yeah.
to the haunted graveyard statue because in my day-to-day life, I love the macabre and the dark, even though I am a big a big scaredy cat.
Yeah. Are you a goth person?
I am a goth person,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. I'm I'm a secret. I have a secret goth music collection that no one gets to see. So,
Do you have a favorite?
Sisters of Mercy.
Very good choice.
I have everything they did, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I'm very big on that. I can tell you a couple of other folks that are not so hidden goth folks that maybe I can hook you up with on the net here.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, because it.
I'm a big Susie and the Banshees kind of listener myself.
Oh, Susie Sue.
Yeah, I love Susie Sue.
Oh man, we could talk for another half hour on that.
Oh, absolutely, we could. We'll get into that another time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because you talk about somebody who came from nowhere and made herself into something. She definitely did. Um,
Oh, absolutely.
and that's a whole other topic. Yeah. And yet, no, but it's good to find another person out there. Um,
So somebody who gets it, but yeah. So the shift we made in October, what I really wanted to keep was, even though I was going to the dark looks, I really wanted to keep in the positivity. And so on a lot of my graveyard statues, it says born of light and love. And
mm,
I still try to keep heart motifs anywhere I can,
mhm.
and making the branding into looking for positivity and exploring the world, because I try to look maybe a bit at the world with rose-colored glasses, but I'm so excited about everything.
Yeah.
Everything is just so enticing to me and exciting to learn about. And you've talked about it. You can hear when I get real
Oh,
passionate about things.
absolutely. Yeah. That's
But
just. I mean, I want to go
oh no,
run
go ahead.
through. I want to go run through a wall now, and I don't run for anything at this point. Maybe I'll walk towards the wall.
We'll
Sure.
lean up against the wall, look really cool.
Yeah, I'll talk myself out of it eventually. I said I'm actually a fairly evil person, but my sloth always cancels it out. So two wrongs make a very much right at that point. Uh, but it's very obvious that you're enjoying yourself, and I can't imagine somebody not being around you in this for a period of time and not enjoying themselves. Um, so what are your goals now? I mean, you've got things started. You've got the branding down. You know what you want to do as
Mhm.
far as day to day type stuff. What do you want to do with the channel?
I really want to continue to push towards like more consistency.
Hmm.
With the last year, I've had to get a part-time or full-time job, and that has definitely cut into my streaming time.
Oh, how
I
do you?
really want to get more consistently into it because it is something that brings me so much joy.
Yeah,
Um, More art, obviously, as the
yeah,
year goes on.
yeah.
I've been making a lot of art in the end of the year into the beginning.
Hmm. Yeah. By the
And
way,
then, oh, I'm so sorry. Go
no,
on.
I haven't asked you this. Are you taking commissions?
I am taking commissions. My commissions are currently open.
Okay, we'll have those links in the description for the interview. Oh, I didn't mean to
Thank
interrupt.
you.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Mm.
And then one final goal I have is one that's already in motion is I want to do a couple of song covers this
Yes,
year.
yes.
I've been doing some work with my friends. I'm doing a karaoke stream here in a couple of weeks. One thing that my community has been trying to really encourage in me is singing again, because I've kind of set it aside.
Hmm.
But I want to do a few official song covers.
Oh, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Because
Absolutely.
I always try to get a song from folks that have done covers on an interview, and then I've committed myself to doing a couple of music specials during the year from with people that I've interviewed. In fact, the last one is still up right now. If you want to check it out, yeah,
Hey.
and we got it done finally right before the year ended, and it ended up being like a almost 2 hours
Like an hour
long.
and a half long? Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was something else. But so many we get a chance now to hear from so many talented people that we normally wouldn't have been able to hear. And yeah, yeah, I'm greedy. I want to know. I'm gonna steal my energy from everybody. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy everything. Uh, and it's great that I get a chance to talk with someone like yourself, and I get a chance to hear and enjoy what you enjoy doing what the other folks that I talk to enjoy doing, and you get to spread that to everybody else. Um, how? Okay, this is a tough question, but
Mm,
I'm pretty sure you can handle it. How
hit me with it.
proud are you of you at this point?
Ooh, huh. That is a doozy of a question. Funny enough, for I would not have said this answer, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I am so proud of what I've accomplished and made.
Mm,
Um, I'm actually genuinely very proud of everything and how it's going right now.
yeah, yeah, good. Because if you weren't, I'd have to be proud for you, and I've just barely met you. It's keep going. Anything I can do to help. I mean, can't do anything, but anything I can do to not hurt.
You don't have to worry about that.
But
I I truly don't think I've got any plans of slowing down anytime soon. I've just got off my hiatus and I've hit the ground running and I'm excited to see where it takes me.
well, we're excited to see where it takes you to, because we're going to go along with you. How about that?
I'll be happy to have you with me.
Rosa, thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure. And
It was wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
we'll catch up with you again here later on this year, but when you get your debut song album out and it flies up to the top of the charts.
Release an EP on Spotify and beat out Ariana Grande. It'll be great.
Yes.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Just don't go around and lick people's donuts. Like
Oh
she
my
did.
God.
There is absolutely no one who's going to catch that.
No,
Another
I
one.
absolutely got that one. That's a comeback to a couple of years ago. Yeah.
See that just random things pop up in an old person's memory like that. But, so much. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll do it again soon. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.